Hello dear viewer, I'm leesusss and welcome back to Hardspace Shipbreaker. I thought I'd give it a little revisit. The game gets redone every now and then, get some big updates to it. In fact, I've restarted the main game at least, well, 3 times now, because every time they do a major update, it breaks the old one. But it is a wonderful game, one I enjoy a great deal. So, let's just go into the standard career path. I've done a little bit of the early stages stuff, so I opened a few things up. Hopefully there's no story that's going to jump in on this. The story does occasionally intrude on what you're doing, and the story's okay, kind of interesting, but not something I really want to put on the channel. So I just want to bash some ships up and scrap them and show you bits about the game in case you haven't seen it. You may well have done, but we'll see. Here I am, my mental hab.
Overnight genetic backup complete.
Oh, that's nice.
Pattern deviation nominal.
Okay, but not
Have a good day.
not no deviation from my genetic code, but some deviation. Yeah, they you will die in this game, so they back up your. The company kindly backs up your code, so that you. They're disgusting the screen is, by the way, so that you. So that when you die, they just clone a new one out and charge you for the benefit of that. I don't think I've got very much to do in here because I don't think I've got any upgrades I can put on here. I haven't got enough money to upgrade. Let's just start a shift, shall we? And go from there. Now, so yeah, we're early in the ship. We're early stages, so most of the ships aren't that hard to do. They're fairly okay, but there's so many here that I haven't done before. So I've just been doing this one here. Again, these are tugs and things that I haven't seen before. Heavy cargo, I know. That one's not very exciting. That one I've done once. What else have we got here? Anything new that I've not done before, like cargoes? Ah! Okay, so every ship has got its own proclivities and variations, and as I say, they're not too hard yet. Because I'm only rank 9. I've not opened up all the options that could be in the game, and especially as you replay the ships, they get more and more hazards in them as they go on. But this one looks like a good one. I've never done it before. We will find out what is going on. So you don't have to worry about the backstory of the game too much. We're just going to break up ships, do it in the right way. It's like a reverse. Well, it's not really a reverse Viscera cleanup. It's got the same feeling as Viscera cleanup, with a bit more time pressure on it, essentially. Have I got supplies? I do. So I have to break the ship into pieces and chuck it into the various holes, which I haven't opened up yet. Into the processor or the furnace or bits down to the barge. Just have a little look at this thing. If I scan it, it is pressurized, which means I need to get rid of the... I need to get the pressure out carefully, or I'll have a sort of explosion and it will cause some problems. Now, but I should be able to take some of these things off. Anything with a yellow marker is a cut point, and I can use my laser on it. So I should be able to. Some things early on you can, like that aerial behind us, the antenna behind us. We can just pull those off. This one, persuasion, so it's marked in green, so it goes down to the barge. Nice and simple. There we go. This antenna. No, give me the antenna.
Salvage secured.
I should be able to do that. This is a sensor tower. That can come off as well. It's a little scout ship, so I'm expecting 1 or maybe 2 people. I mean, 2 people would make sense, wouldn't it, really? Because if you're scouting, then probably you want to have someone always on duty while the other person sleeps. What it's scouting for, I don't know. Resources, maybe. There's no war vessels in the game, as far as I'm aware. This is not a military shipyard. Breakdown. We've got a major engine on the back, though. It's obviously quite a fast craft. Let's see if I've got any panels to rip off. This is kind of a new thing. So the... No. Wrong way, me. 1 second. The... Are you going in? You're going in. Okay. They've changed the engine slightly. There's a more complicated thruster arrangement now, and it has new hazards in the game. Let's turn my light on so maybe you can see a little tiny bit more. The company, of course, does not care about our safety. It only cares about the scrap we can possibly get. So we're going to have to go through quite a hazardous trick to get the inside these thrusters. Again, we're not going to mess around with the main cabin yet. Or anything like that. No. I'm struggling a little bit because I'm used to more powerful tools than this. You have to upgrade them as you go, and I haven't got them yet. So certain things are much trickier to do than they should be.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Get in there, you. Right, you going in? This is one of my most frustrating things in the game is when you get close to the processor and the furnace, there is a degree of gravity or a pull of some sort. Not necessarily gravity, but a pull of some sort towards the mouths of those openings, and the one for the furnace seems particularly strong, and sometimes it's not uncommon for objects you've sent that way to end up in the furnace when you really wanted them in the processor.
Salvage secured.
Top middle, you can see I'm gaining money, that the total value of the craft is completing as I salvage the pieces. If I break anything or reduce its value in any way, it'll become a red bar on the right hand side. I'm pausing for a second because there is a timer involved here. Actually, you can see, look, it's an illustration here. So I've salvaged 5.3% of this much of the total value, whatever that is. And I need to pay a big debt off, so I want to earn, this is my debt up here, I want to earn as much money as possible from this as quickly as possible. And every now and then we get certain markers where we get rewards of when we get to different stages. I've got repair could come in there. Most of these things are tokens for advancing my rank level, and therefore the ship that I'm going to meet, and also tokens that I'm going to spend on upgrades for my equipment. However, doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to... I've got a tricky bit coming up, give me a second. Doesn't necessarily mean I want to salvage the whole thing down to the last bones. I've only got 15 minutes in this shift, and every single shift. And every shift that I do, I either pay more money for essentially my rent, which is a very large amount, to Lynx, the owners of my contract. So there's not necessarily... At a certain point I might go, hey, I'm not going to salvage the rest of the ship. It isn't worth it because I'm going to spend more money than I get back. Right, here's the fun part. It took me a few attempts to work this out. Yes, I've set things on fire. These are fuel lines here. Grapple that to the back. Get that out of the way. Normally, obviously, I would try to turn the fuel lines off first. In a lot of ships, what you do is you would flip the fuel cut-offs. There's no fuel in these lines, and therefore there can be no fire. However, in this ship, you can't do that because the shut-off valve is all the way in there. It's a terrible design choice, which is, you know, something that probably happens in... Why's my door opening? That's rather creepy. I think the breeze from my windows opened it. It happens sometimes, you know. Sometimes engineering choices are not great, and therefore things like that happen. Now, let me just cancel that grapple. The grapple is designed to pull items temporarily in a certain direction. So I ripped the thruster out the way so I could then get inside, past the fire to get that. I've now got a slight problem though, which is I want to yank. When you pull that out, the whole thing shifts, splits apart, and now I can send these massive pieces into the processor. They're blue, so they're processor. However, these chunks here are in the way, and the chances of me getting this is my inexperience with the ship. The chances of me being able to get that without it going to the furnace are low. So we're going to come back to that. We've got a second thruster to do. We'll come back to that later. What we will do instead, we will burn through this and send this high gay antenna, which is pretty quite valuable, down to there. I've only got so many grapples, tethers, so I don't do that too often. But there you go. But we need to do something with the ship, so we can do that later. So we won't do the second thruster. Instead, we will get ourselves inside this ship. Actually, we can probably send that down. Possibly. No, we can't. Everything's in the way. That's got to go on the barge. Where is the airlock? Here it is. We'll see if we can easily vent the airlock. Vent the air out the ship. And also if there's any O2 because
Airlock
down the bottom
depressurizing.
my O2 is running out. And I need to go and buy some more, but I might be able to find some in the ship. So I'm expecting quite a packed area in here, full of equipment, valuable electrical equipment. Maybe some holds and things. Oh, we've got some sort of... collect that. It's just a collectible there. I need some of these things. We'll talk about them later. We can collect the poster. We can collect that one. Well, we get some money for them, but not very much. We've got some sort of table here. Everything's lit up because the power's on. I have to worry about that later. See if we can vent all the air.
Air pressure level decreasing.
Out of this ship. No, we have not. We have only vented the air from this compartment.
Air pressure level increasing.
Okay. Now, if I did that, then I would get... Can you do that, please? A pressure differential. And things would fly around in here. Have we got another We've got another regulator in here. Okay, we'll do this one first.
Air pressure level decreasing.
Right. And then we're going to get some air rushing into here. But not very much. So that component part ripped off and blew around, yeah? Okay, we've got a lot more dealt with here. It isn't always possible to vent the air in every area safely, so you try to do it so you've got no big chunks of stuff flying. Like, for example, this thing flying around should have smashed some equipment. That is still... Okay, what we're going to try and do, we're going to try and open the ship up partly. Clear it out of in here. Again, I don't know the best way to break this ship up yet. And then we're going to vent into this area afterwards. And that might be good, and that might be bad. That might cause some problems. Oh, hold on a second. Got a problem. I'm going to waste some items. These got to be fast. These have got to be in the cargo. These have got to be in the cargo thing. If they go in the processor, I'm going to lose the value for them. That's my fault for not being careful.
Salvage registered. Transferring credits.
But I managed to cancel the tether in time. So we've got it back. Okay. Some items, you'll often see me scrapping lights. I'll put the lights in the wrong place because they're still attached. I won't care. Because the value is not high enough for me to care about them. Ooh, we have a med kit. We have some O2 we'll grab in a minute. We've got a tool repair kit. My tools do wear out. But for now, what we're going to do is just scrap.
Salvage deposit secured. Credits awarded.
We're just going to grab what we can. Now,
Processing valuable deposit.
this scrap like this is not worth very much. But there is an achievement for it. So,
Warning. Oxygen reserves are dropping.
yes, we'll do the auction in a minute. Computer, don't worry about
Salvage
it.
secured. Credits deposited.
The auction's in this room here, so yeah, we should buy some more, but we can just grab some more in a minute. We can grab that spare tank on the wall, and that'll be fine. Okay, how are we doing? We're getting a bit low, but we're okay. What's this? The bunny movie. This one we don't care about. We've got that one already, so we will chuck that down there. Where's that O2 that I saw? There it is.
Cutter, shift's got about 5
Can
minutes
you...
left in it.
Oh, he's warning me
Let's
about
make it
that.
count. We're out.
I thought for a second he was warning me about my O2. That's Tutorial Man there. Helping us out. Down on the barge. That's a valuable bit of kit. And again, what I'd rather do is obviously grab the really valuable stuff.
Salvage deposit secured. Credits awarded.
That's a very thin mattress. Yeah, a 2-person mattress. Maybe a 3-person ship. Just going to get that mattress out of the way. It's not really worth very much. Oh, that's the sound of part of my equipment starting to go wrong. We'll repair that afterwards. I repaired that in the hub
Applying credit to account.
later. Again, these things aren't super valuable, but they're alright. They all add up. That light we'll ignore. We haven't got the time for that.
Salvage secured.
Is there air
No
back
credit
there?
applied.
Interesting. Okay. We can get the back half of the ship off. I will grab that fuel in it. That's fuel for my thrusters.
Transferring credits.
That's not going anywhere yet. I suspect it's caught up in the hold. There is air on the inside. What we're going to do, we're going to do a little venting procedure, okay?
Credit applied.
It's like there's nothing valuable in there, like the reactor, for example. Aluminium panel destroyed. All sorts of things could be inside there. Especially on the harder ships, you find that there are more component parts just hanging around inside things like that that could cause problems. But we seem to be okay. Oh, we are very lucky. That's the reactor. In fact, I should have spotted that from the other side, because it had... If any of you know about this game, you were probably crying slightly at that point there when I didn't realise the reactor was there. And I would have sworn about it if I'd have got it wrong. Is this... There is air in the airlock. Shoot. Okay, that's going to be a problem. We'll have to deal with that after. Have to vent that air at some point. Yeah, that reactor will go boom if I got that wrong. If I cut the wrong panel, for example. We'll worry about that later.
Deposit registered. Account credit.
Can I cut through here? I can't. It's blue, so I can't cut through it. Can I fish this out of here? Not easily. I can't easily pull this out and chuck it down there. That's interesting. Is this whole panel going to come out? I'd like it if it did. Is that moving? I don't think it is. Let's put it. Oh, there's more things up here. There's a fuel tank there as well there to cause problems. Right, what we're going to do... Oh, something's moving. Something's coming apart there. You're probably going to go straight in the processor, I'd imagine. Is there anything inside you? Anything strapped on that looks important? No, no fuel tanks or anything in there? What's this? A searchlight. Cool. Again, nice to have a different ship. I know the other ship's sort of inside and out. And
Secured.
it's not very exciting after a while to have the same ship over and over again.
Accepted for processing.
In fact, quite the reverse. What we're going to do in a minute is we're going to cut... I'm going to rip this off. We're going to vent the airlock by doing that. Which wouldn't have caused too much damage. We'll still get a lot of points for that. We can now remove this. We can. How are we doing for time? I've not done as much to this ship.
1 minute warning, Cutter. Bring it home.
I've not done as much to this ship as I wanted, but I didn't know the best way to do it. So some of it, sometimes on some ships you can find you're doing a lot of prep work beforehand, and you're not actually achieving very much. But that's all right. We've got into the ship. We've cut into the ship. The main thing, we want to get that reactor out. The reactor's worth a lot of money.
Credits transferred.
Obviously, that's a significant part of the ship. If I'd have cut through this, by the way, before I'd cut the doors off the airlock, it might have been okay. The airlock would have vented automatically. It would have blown out. But it wouldn't have been as good. There we go. This is too heavy for me to move. Are you going to go? And if we do this, can we now... I think we can now get this thruster off, you know. We can probably get that thruster half off now. Into the thing. So what did we destroy? Destroyed a food pack. Did we really? Oh, okay. We're supposed to destroy them by throwing them in the furnace. So we lost a couple of things. Doing pretty well in general. So we earned some points. We've got a new rank.
Level attained.
There we go. We can do some neat things mid level anyway.